Photos of loved ones, friends, and special moments are precious to us all. They allow us to remember the occasion and that moment in time. Well, our first guest, Alison Hillman, the Alison in BTP by Alison, turned her passion into a calling to help people hit the pause button on life and capture those special moments, because she knows just how incredibly important it is to have those pictures to cherish forever. Today, Alison is going to share why this passion of hers is so important and why you need to make sure you have a professional photographer for your next special event. Welcome, Alison.
Hi, friend.
Hello,
I'm
hello.
so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. I love your story, and I just want to share that with the world. So let's start with this. BTP stands for Been There Photography. What does that mean?
Well, I have. We lost Dad when I was a junior in high school, and Mom and I were going through the photos for the funeral, like you do. And there's no photo past me being 6 or 7 with just me and my dad.
Oh my goodness.
And it just, imagine a 17-year-old that just lost their dad. I was already, so I've literally been there. And now, fast forward to my wedding day, my dad wasn't there. So it's not like you can redo that.
Right.
The wedding pictures weren't great. So I've been there to make sure, and now I don't even have them hung in my house. And I have the most adorable 3-year-old in the whole wide world,
Right.
Jace. Where's the pause button? Because
He grows quick.
he's starting school this year. When did that happen? And my husband and I talk about that all the time, that it's just so, you blink and it's another chapter of your life.
Absolutely. And it's so incredibly important to be able to look back on those, and not just the photos on your phone, but the real shots that are taken by a professional photographer. Why did you decide to become a professional photographer?
It chose me. I remember, so I went to school for journalism and all that, and started taking pictures for friends. And I realized there's a moment sometimes when you're doing things and you're like, God just says this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I became the storyteller for my friends and family. And
I love
then
that.
we moved to St. Louis 10 years ago. And so rebuilt my business. There was the decision, am I going to do it here too?
Right.
And I did, and left corporate America in 2018 and hit the ground running ever since.
Now you're
So,
celebrating 5 years.
5 years, and my second St. Louis Magazine A-List Finals nomination this year.
Congratulations.
And
Well deserved.
Thank you. And, you think, sometimes as an entrepreneur, you think, what the heck am I doing? And
Absolutely.
then St. Louis Magazine emails you and it's like, hey, they think you're one of the best photographers in the city. So you're doing what you're called to be doing.
I can attest. You've done many a shot for us, many times. And it's always been a wonderful experience, not just because of the pictures that we receive, but Alison, I think you have an incredible gift. You make people feel comfortable during that awkward process. What is it that you love most about working with your clients?
So perfect example, I was doing a gotcha day a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And the brother of the mom, he said, so are you just a photographer? I thought you were a member of our family.
Oh, you gotta love that.
And I was like, oh no, your sister hired me. And how many clients become friends? Because what we do is, it's an intimate thing, because I'm getting to know your babies and wedding pictures and everything. And I'm now at a point where weddings that I shot years ago, they're having babies now.
Oh, you gotta love that.
And
That's
so
so cool.
it's literally full circle. So when I say I'm capturing the prologue of your life, I literally am. And it just, what a compliment is. I cried at a newborn shoot the other day because I was remembering the wedding day, and now they've worked to have this beautiful little nugget, and it's the biggest compliment of my life.
And clients became friends.
Yes.
Beautiful. Now, a lot of people maybe have a misconception about hiring a photographer. They think maybe it's just like headshots or just the wedding. But there are so many different times and occasions where a photographer really comes in handy. Let's talk about a couple of those.
So I do weddings and events.
Yes.
So, that can be birthday parties. How many times are you stuck behind your phone and you're like, I miss the day.
Well, yeah, you're trying to interact with your guests. You don't
Right.
really have a chance, or maybe it's the kiddo and you want to really be special with them. So you don't have time to grab your phone and get those captured moments.
Absolutely.
So again, a perfect example of why you need a professional photographer.
You really should be asking yourself, do I want to be present for this?
Exactly.
So it's my job to come in and press pause on those memories so that you can actually see them happening and then look through the pictures later and go, oh my goodness, do you remember when they did X, Y, and Z? So
Perfect.
you actually get to enjoy the party you plan.
Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Yeah.
So I know that you do the weddings, you do different types of events, you do corporate events, you do graduation photos.
I speak teenager fluently.
Yes, you do, because I've actually been present when you were working with a teen, and you made them feel so comfortable, and it is awkward in that moment.
That's such an awkward season of life anyway.
Right.
And no two senior sessions are the same. And most of the time they're like, Mom, I don't even care, just book it. So I bring them I encourage them to be part of the consult. Every client does a consult with me, or I recommend that they do.
Right.
Because first they need to see the quirky, fun glass,
Of course.
silly sense of humor that I have to say either absolutely or maybe not. But the kid needs to be part of the conversation because
Right.
they're the one that's worked so hard in high school, whether it's at a job, playing soccer, or whatever, so that we can really capture what that season of life has looked like for them.
Perfect, perfect. Those are all awesome, but the coolest one you do, and we just got to share this briefly, is the engagement photos. Tell everybody what that does.
I hide in the bushes, not literally, but usually it's where maybe it tells your story. Maybe we're at the Botanical Gardens. Shout out to them, one of the best St. Louis spots. But it's just you get to have that moment where maybe you do surprise them, or maybe they knew it was coming, or whatever. Because the pure joy that's in that moment when you first drop down to the knee, or you half
Yes.
crouch, or however you're going to do it, you
Right.
do you. And I stalk you, for lack of a better. It's literally me with a camera, and we get those moments, and then we get to do cute pictures because you're glowing after you
Absolutely.
agree to forever to the love of your life. So
Absolutely. I think it's the coolest
I love
thing,
them.
you know, you popping out with the camera. It's just beautiful. All right, we got to wrap this puppy up, but I got to ask you, what's your favorite thing about St. Louis? I think I already know the answer, but go ahead.
oh my goodness. So I moved to St. Louis on purpose because this was my happy place as a kid. And just the diversity of, you can be a sports fan here, you
Yes.
can like arts here. So the Fox, go Cardinals.
Amen.
We have the best soccer team. We can say that now. There's just you don't have to do the same thing every weekend.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you so much, my
Thank you
friend.
for having me.
For sharing your passion, for sharing your love of St. Louis, and of course, letting everybody know how important it is to hit that pause button.
Yes, absolutely.
When it comes to your events, whether it's a party, a graduation, an engagement, a wedding, or whatever it may be, Alison would love to share with you how she can help you pause that moment, capture that treasured memory forever.